Hey everyone, and welcome to SkillCapped. I'm the King Live, and in today's episode of Survivor, we're going to be talking about the 3 best agents in Valorant patch 2.11. We've got many agents in the game right now, but 3 of them shine above as the most obnoxious and consistently most dangerous agents to play against in Valorant competitive. If you want to climb as fast as possible in Valorant, these are some of the agents to do that with. Now, as always with these tier list videos, just because an agent is considered one of the best does not mean that you can't climb with any other agent. Play what you feel comfortable with. However, if you're looking to play what is absolutely the strongest in the game right now, these are the agents you're going to want to look for. Before we get into it though, let's introduce our question of the day, which is, which agent do you think is the best for climbing in Valorant? If you leave your response before watching the video, then it'll have no bias, and then we can see what everyone truly thinks in the comments. This will be a good exercise to determine who our real friends are and who maybe has been playing a little bit too much Astra. Oh man, was that a segue? That brings us to our most overpowered agent in Valorant at this current moment, and that is going to be the Galaxy Brain agent herself, Astra. Many pros are complaining about the way Astra changes the game of Valorant entirely. With 5 stars and the ability to set up those stars at the entrance to any site, it makes pushing areas an absolute nightmare to deal with, and it forces players to have to slow down their entire play to deal with this. She's a controller that can provide up to 5 smokes, as well as having the ability to pull back stars after placing them, using temporary smokes to create pressure. Astra is incredibly strong right now, and if you're not taking advantage of it yet, I highly recommend that you do so, just preferably not in my games, because she is really not that much fun to play against. The strongest parts about Astra's kit is primarily her suck, which forces enemy players to have to fight the suck if they're on the outside, or stand their ground and take an engagement while they are marked with vulnerability. It's just really not a fun mechanic to deal with. On top of this, her ultimate is another execute ultimate that you can plan around, which makes her incredibly strong and competitive as well. If you think of agents such as Cypher, Sage, and Omen, these are agents that it's a lot harder to plan full strats around. You can say stuff like, if we get a pick, Cypher will ult, but that requires the pick to come through, and whereas something like Astra's ultimate, you can literally throw down the ultimate on a site, and then push in as a team to grab that territory, and that's what we call an execute. These execute ultimates are really strong in matchmaking because they give your team something to play for. A lot of the time, players are kind of just like monkeys walking around waiting to be told what to do. When you give them a clear strat of what they can do, it makes it a lot easier to make plans as a team. This is why Astra also favors players with good communication skills in the game, because she's definitely an IGL type agent. Let your killjoys know that you have a suck on their mollies, let your Razes know when to throw their nades, and Astra is literally what the cool kids call freelo. Now, before we move on to the next overpowered agent to patch 2.09, if you guys are looking to always stay up to date with what is the best in Valorant, be sure to check out all the things we have to offer on SkillCapped.com. We have up-to-date lineups, courses on how to climb with each agent, Smurf commentaries where a higher rank player walks you through how to carry in your rank, and so much more. Come join over 500,000 satisfied members, improve that KDA, and get the rank that you've always wanted at SkillCapped.com. Link in the description below. Moving on to the agent everyone is used to seeing on this list, Jett is still a menace to deal with in every sense of the word. Jett's mobility with an operator will always make her a nightmare to deal with for any uncoordinated team. And that's why this is pretty much the single most obnoxious agent to deal with in matchmaking. We've all been there when the 2 and 6 Jett buys an operator and suddenly drops 30 on our team. It's just not fun to deal with. And you really don't encounter this problem nearly as much with any other agent. The operator isn't even necessarily considered incredibly strong anymore. It is mostly just Jett with the operator that is frustrating to deal with. And because of this, that's why she will always remain on this list. The problem I see with this is that if they actually wanted to get rid of the issue of Jetts going for crazy aggressive peaks with an operator and then dashing away, they probably have to overhaul her entire kit. Because the problem isn't really the operator, the problem is the operator with the dash. And as long as Jett's dash exists and the operator is an easy one hit to the chest, Jett is going to be ravaging her way through competitive matchmaking for a long time. This isn't even the only crazy strong thing about Jett though. Because of Jett's knives, she pretty much always has the capability of having a deadly weapon in Valorant. Because if she plays smart, she can pretty much dodge all eco rounds and use the knives instead. This gives her one of the strongest chances to put her team on her back because she is always going to have some deadly weaponry in any round. On top of that, her ability to play pretty much any crazy off angle because of her updraft is going to put her so far ahead of other agents. You can simply play positions other agents just could not. And it's not just that makes her strong, it's all of these things combined. The knives, the op angles, the operators, these are all things that take intelligent players and coordinated teams to deal with, and those things just don't really exist in matchmaking, and that's why Jett is on this list so often. Her kit itself just works so well in matchmaking. Speaking of fantastic kits though, that brings us to our third agent, who is no stranger to this list either. Sova's in a similar boat as Jett, whereas his kit would be really hard to nerf if they genuinely wanted to, although considering it's been the exact same since release, it doesn't look like that intention is there anyway. Sova provides an incredible amount of information, and not only that, but damage, and this is something that other agents just don't bring to the table. Not only that, but he provides these things without risking much himself. All of his utility can be used from safety to help his team win the round, and with this, he is one of the all-around powerhouses of Valorant. His retake is phenomenal, his executes are sexy, his defaults work great. He's fantastic at taking space and causing chip damage. He can even play picks with his ultimate. A well-played Sova is an absolute nightmare to deal with, and that's why he's in our top 3. Sova has been consistently referred to as one of the strongest agents in Valorant by so many of the top players, and it's for good reason. He's a jack of all trades and also brings something to the table that no other agent brings. He provides different avenues for grabbing kills with things such as wallbangs and drone tags, and although an agent like Skye provides a large amount of info as well, she doesn't provide the same wall hacks that Sova can, and because of that, it makes it a little bit harder to capitalize on. I can ping somebody's location with my wolf, but it doesn't quite get the same value as tagging somebody with a recon dart from a drone. Overall, Sova has always been one of the top agents in Valorant, and today it seems to still stay that way. A must pick on almost every map, Sova is still one of the best picks for matchmaking, and if you haven't picked him up yet, we suggest that you do so. Anyway, those were our top 3 agents. I did want to list 2 honorable mentions though, the first being Raze. Raze is actually a pretty interesting agent, and for a while a lot of players felt like she was only a must pick on maps like Split and Bind, but over time her pick rate has started to slowly increase on every single map. And now you're seeing teams like 100 Thieves basically run Raze as their only duelist on every map, and the reason for that is Raze's ultimate, as well as the rest of her utility, is so incredibly good at grabbing space as a team, and if played effectively, she can be more than what they need to execute a site. Raze is incredibly strong, and don't get me wrong, I absolutely would have put her on the top 3 instead of Jett, but I just feel like specifically for matchmaking, the operator is something that most players struggle to deal with, and since Jett is the best op user, that's why I placed her higher. The other honorable mention is Sage. Similar to Astra, she changes how the game has to be played. On defense, she forces teams to have to bait out her utility and shoot down her wall, which is just incredibly obnoxious to deal with, and most teams just literally won't. They'll let Sage wall off an entire area of the map and ignore it like it's no big deal, letting her team focus their resources towards other areas. Not only that, but on offense she allows different executes to take place, such as the cookie cutter strat on Bind, or any of the other classic Sage walls on Icebox. She changes the game, and because of that she's incredibly difficult to deal with, so that's why I think she definitely deserves a spot in our honorable mentions. She doesn't have as noticeable of an impact as the other agents on this list, but don't be deceived, Sage is incredibly strong. Lastly, if you guys are seriously looking for the best way to win your games, we highly suggest that you check out SkillCapped.com to bring your play to the next level. These are the 3 best agents for patch 2.11. Let us know if you agree with any of the picks in the comments down below. I mostly pick these agents from what the word on the street is from professional players, but everyone has a different experience in Valorant, so I hope that this is helpful in bringing your eyes to what is strong right now. Finally, if you guys haven't already, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel down below. It really does help us out. But all that aside, that's going to do it for us today. As always, I'm the King Live, and we here at SkillCapped want to thank you all for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.